What is going on, guys? Sid here with another episode of Spooky Season Specials. And guys, we can take off the spooky warm-ups, right? It's nearly fall, a couple days away. And guys, we are in Savage Halloween, guys. And we are up to stage number 3. And we're headed into Dr. Frank's castle. Guys, we are going to be taking on Frankenstein's monster in this episode. And guys, I struggled in this level, guys. I'm not joking with you. This is probably my third go in this level, in this stage, guys. This stage is just, I was just like racking my head as to which gun to use, when to use the gun. And guys, this level takes so much patience. Guys, I'm telling you right now, so much patience is involved, right? There's times when you just want to floor it and just keep running and running and running to try to just like finish the level and just get to the boss, get to the boss, get to the boss. Guys, you cannot. You've got to take your time in this level. And guys, the stage is just absolutely crisp. It's beautiful. It's so aesthetically pleasing. It really does. You know, it's like, I think it's like one of the best spooky season games, like on the festive ends of things, right? It's one of the best freaking Halloween themed games I've ever played, right? Horror-esque / Halloween-esque. Definitely got the vibes down correctly. I've said this in the previous iterations, in the previous episodes, right? Involving Savage Halloween, but guys, it really is so dope, right? And the main protagonist that we're using, right? His name is James, right? If I'm not mistaken, but I'm still gonna call him Sam, right? Because he really does remind me of he really reminds me of the Trick or Treat character, right? The little boy Sam. I'm just gonna say it. It's like Sam all grown up, right? But it's not, right? It's a totally different. It's an action adventure Sylvester Stallone style player that we're using, right? Because we're just using multiple guns. It's like Rambo. It's like Rambo in a Halloween costume, right? Or Contra in a Halloween costume, right? Whatever you want to say, however you want to say it, however you want to categorize it, it's fine by me, right? And guys, it's got elements of Christmas. It's got elements of Halloween. It's got elements of whole bunch of NES and Sega Genesis titles, right? Like little hints to them in every single stage. It's really cool. If you guys missed the previous videos where we tackled stage 1 and stage 2 of Savage Halloween, I think you guys are in for a treat if you check those videos out, right? Because, you know, without spoiling it, you know, there's no way. And by the way, if you guys are looking at this and you're like thinking to yourself, you're getting like a crisp, you know, I'm essentially playing the game for you, right? Sometimes that's therapeutic, and sometimes you end up spoiling it for other people, right? Because other people don't really want to see you like play a game that they're gonna have to experience themselves, right? But you know what? How I'm gonna tell you this, right? It's like no matter how many times you see like anyone play this game, especially this game, any game, right? But you still have to play it for yourself to understand how difficult it actually is, right? And to, you know, to just like understand how crazy the movements actually are, right? So you can think of it as a walkthrough, you can think of it as a tutorial, but it's really not. It's just me enjoying, right? We're really just enjoying spooky season specials, right? Spooky warm-ups, right? I'm torn between saying that, like the spooky warm-ups thing, right? The ending, right? Because we're a couple of days away from fall, right? So I've got to reiterate that, right? We could just say spooky season specials, right? But obviously I'm gonna go back and forth on that. But guys, we're using James, right? You know, aka Sam, right? Yeah, guys, he's like, okay, so I've got 4 lives, right? First thing you're gonna notice is I've got 4 lives, right? And you should be thinking to yourself, right? Well, he's got a lot of lives, right? Well, in this level, right? In stage 3, guys, you're just like, look at that, right? I just lost a life there. It's actually technically my fault, but jumping back and forth between those ladders, right? It's actually much more difficult than it may seem, right? And you know, I've taken in some amounts of coffee to get past this level because it's like my third go on this level, right? And I was like really just trying to figure out, I don't want to give it away just yet, right? But there was a lot of like guesswork involved in this level, right? As to, you know, which gun to use, when to use the gun, and when we get up to the part, I'm gonna just, you know, you guys are gonna see like right off the bat what I'm talking about, right? Because this level, right, the level design is just absolutely insane, right? It's hectic. There's a lot of things going on the screen, right? And there's a lot of ways in which you can make a silly little mistake and you can just die, right? Because we're on a moving platform, we're going vertically, you know, we're going up, and if you get crushed, right, you have to, like, at this particular piece, right, like, if you get crushed, you're done, you're toast, right? You just instantly lose a life, right? And I think the first, like, 2 attempts, I think I lost a life, like, stupidly there, right, like that. But I really wanted to, you know, just have this go. I wanted 4 lives to face the final boss, right? I wanted the max health to face the final boss, right? Because you know, I'm just gonna tell you right now, Savage Halloween really does mean Savage Halloween, right? And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, right? Yeah, this game, you know, it lives up to the hype, right? There's a lot of hype surrounding this game in terms of, like, how good it stands with the really difficult retro games, right? And it's up there. It's up there. It's really intense, right? You don't get that much time to breathe, right? So I, like, made my coffee when I made my coffee, and I was just, like, going through the level, right? This is my 3rd go, and I'm just, like, going through the level right now, right? And anytime I could get a breather, right, because I need my coffee, right? Anytime I could get a breather, I took the breather, and I was just, like, sipping my coffee. So I'm gonna tell you, every single damn time I sip my coffee while taking care of these wolf men, right? Look at this. This is so cool, right? Like, because once you think you got the wolf man, you know, once you've taken care of the wolf man, like right there, I'm sipping my coffee, by the way, right? But every you take 2 shots on the Wolfman, you think you've hurt him, and then he's still crawling, right? So the first time you play the level, right, if you don't anticipate that, you know, if you don't cater for that, right, there's no way you can anticipate that, right? But if you don't cater for that, right, you're gonna end up losing some health, right? And that's the stupidest thing, like, you could do, right? You have to really cater for it. I'm telling you, this level requires a lot of patience, right? Because you're gonna be, you know, like when someone tells you, like, stop jumping through hoops. Well, in a video game, it's necessary to jump through hoops. But guys, in this level, right? In this level, you're jumping through almost every single hoop imaginable, right? And it kind of, you know, it wears you out. It's like, yo, man, there's another piece, there's another area where you gotta jump like crazy, right? But it's like in traditional platforming style, right? And the game is, like, super difficult, right? And any little hit will knock off a huge chunk of your health, right, on the health bar, right? So it really, you know, like, granted there are a lot of hearts, right, but you just know, like, if you make a silly little mistake, like, you're done, right? So you have to really, you know, cater for every single movement that you make in this game, right? Definitely old school vibes, retro vibes, right? Retro difficulty level, right? And the game does such a great job of capturing the limitations in hardware, right, that you would expect, right, back from, like, 80s and 90s arcade games and console games, right? Like, it really captures that feel, right? The limitations of the hardware, right? And you know, in terms of, like, movement sensitivity, right? You've got to really time your jumps. You've got to angle your jumps correctly. You've got to do a whole load of things correctly, right? And guys, like I said, this is my 3rd attempt, right? And I don't want to spoil it for you guys. I don't want to spoil how difficult the level is. But guys, there's a reason it's my 3rd attempt, right? Because the first 2 stages, right? Well, outside of, like, the first go at the game, right? The first go when, if you guys saw the episode, right? My first real go at the game, right? I didn't know what to expect, right? And I was, like, half asleep when I played it, and, you know, the first boss really, like, did a number on me, right? But once I, like, sat down and, like, learned the game, stage 1 and stage 2, I was able to clear those levels easily, right? Now we're at stage 3, right? And I mean, it was not easily. It was extremely difficult, right? Once you guys play it, this will all make sense, right? If you guys ever purchase the game, or this is not an ad. Like, if you guys ever pick up the game at any point, right, and you're just into like festive vibes, right, and you just need, like, a festive-esque game, right, and you end up happening to pick it up on whatever platform you're playing on, right, you're gonna understand everything's just gonna make that much more sense to you guys, right? Because this was actually insanely, you know, like it's not like it's not that the difficulty level is like too much or too intense. At times it does get like that, but everything, you'll just know how much patience is actually required, right? When you can take my word for it, you won't take my word for it, whatever, you're unable to, whatever. I'm just telling you guys, right? It's a legit game, right? It's a legit game, and you've got to really like be very attentive, right? You've got to pay attention to what's going on at all, at all phases of the game, of the level, right? And in terms of like level design, the level itself is like made to punish you, right? Like if you don't take your time, you're punished. You're punished for not taking your time. Yeah, that's the best way to put it, right? So I kind of like made an error there, right? Because I was like, I had my coffee in my hand, right? And I missed the jump, right? And I was just like, oh, let me just time this guy, right? And just sip my coffee, right? Right here, I'm just sipping my coffee, right? Ooh. I'm sipping my coffee right now, doing the narration for this, right? I'm doing the narration in post-processing, but it's because I needed 100% attention to just get through the level, right? And I made an error there. That was like a legit error. Oh man, I'm getting tongue twisted here just by talking so much, right? I'm talking your ears off. But guys, why did I go up? Because I'm sipping my coffee, right? I'm still just chilling right now. I'm like taking a break. I'm like taking in the game because remember, this is my third go at the game, right? And at the level, and the level is just absolutely insane. And this is just, I've got 3 lives here. And what a silly way to get hit, right? And then I start rushing right here, right? I think it's the coffee kicking in at this point, right? But look at how my health bar just diminished, right? And that's just silliness on my end, right? And I was just like, man, I came this far to just get that, to just let these little things, like these little anvils, like really just like drop, like really just like drop me, and then look at that, guys, and then I lose more health, right? Because the level design is meant to punch you, and then I die, right? That's just silliness. Why the hell? Why did I let all of that happen, right? I got lackadaisical because it's a long level, right? It's a very, very, very long level, right? And granted, if I would play the level again, right, this wouldn't happen, right? I would know what to anticipate, when to anticipate it, and how, I would have everything down to a T. But if I replayed the level, right? But like right now, like what we're doing is just, like we're just trying to like get down to the boss as fast as humanly possible. And guys, if you saw the first 2 videos, right? the first 3 videos, right? If you saw the first 2 stages, is what I mean to say. If you guys saw me clear out the first 2 stages, you already know that there's like a mini boss, right, before you face the boss, right? And like here, I'm just like thinking to myself, like, where's the mini boss, right? Like, I should have already like faced the mini boss before facing the boss, right? But I'm not seeing a mini boss, right? And it's kind of like I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, you know what? This level is like dumb long, right? At this point, I'm just thinking to myself, this is a crazy long level, right? This is the longest level we faced, right? And there's a whole the whole level is just like a death trap, right? It's the whole level design is just like meant to punish you, and I'm just like thinking to myself, like there's spiders off the walls, right? And there's like fireballs being chucked at you like every second of your motion, every second of movement, right? There's a fireball, there's some kind of like monster, right? And right here, I'm having my coffee again, guys, right? Because you gotta have your coffee like in between like sessions, right? And yeah, guys, we are now going straight to a boss fight, right? No mini boss in stage 3. It's just Frankenstein's monster, right? And his name is Ernest F, right? So Ernest Frankenstein, right? So I tried using the special, right? You gotta like tap like, by the way, guys, you gotta tap like crazy. And I'm like standing right in the middle, right? Like a ditz, right? But these, look at the little heads that's coming out, that's coming down at you, and they just swipe you at the screen, right? And I was like the first 2 attempts at this level, I was like switching guns, right? Like I didn't know which guns to use: the chicken gun, the ghost gun, the bat gun, the frog gun, the like my special grenades. Like I could not tell for the life of me what I was doing wrong on this level, right? And then I was just like thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, guys, like there's not enough time to breathe, and I'm just getting hit like crazy. Ernest F, right, the Frankenstein monster, right, that's here, right, guys, he just whooped my behind, right? And I was like, okay, it's to be expected, right? Because I had trouble with this boss like 2 times, right before I made this video. So I'm just like thinking to myself, all right, you know what? I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna get it done regardless, right? So I'm like trying to stay away from his spit, right? Because he spits out some kind of like toxin, right? And it hurts you. So you have to be closer to the ear, like right under the ear, right? And I'm still taking a lot of damage, but then I was just like, you know what? I think this is the correct thing to do, right? Because the first 2 times I played, I tried attacking the heads, right? I tried attacking the heads. I've seen people on other consoles, right? I had to like see what I was doing wrong, and I saw people attacking the heads, and I was like, you know what? I don't even think it's necessary, right? Because look, you can really just destroy. Look how quickly I'm taking down his life bar, right? If I had a lot of lives, if I had all 4 of the lives in this stage, right, it would make much more sense, right? Like in my head, I'm like thinking to myself, it makes much more sense. Just focus on taking out the big head and don't worry about your health bar going down, right? So I was right there, right at the end, right? And I had his life bar, just 1 more bullet and I would have taken him out. But I was like, okay, you know what? I think that's the correct route to take. I'm kind of spoiling it for you guys, right? But it's actually an easier boss than you would think, right? But you've got to button mash like crazy. Like the tempo of your button mash has to be precise. And you kind of got to like hit that ear, like right at the end, right, of the right ear. That's where you want to be. You don't want to be close to the toxin that he spits out. You don't want to be close to the Frankenstein heads that come down, right? You don't want any of that. You just want to get hit, right? And you're going to see I lose a life, but look at his life bar. His life bar still goes down. Remember, you got 3 life bars, right? 3 health bars, right? So it's not that big of a deal as it may seem, right? All you got to do, you just got to evade them from time to time, right? The Frankenstein heads, right? As you can see, I'm down to 1, but this was the tactic, right? It's not a clean tactic. It's a really dirty tactic, actually, right? But it's one that seems to be working, right? So right here, I'm like sweating bullets, by the way, guys, because it's so much button mashing involved, and I'm sweating so many bullets. But guys, look, game over again. But I think I got it down. Like in my head, I'm like, okay, you know what? Just evade the heads a little bit more, and maybe I'll get it, right? Because it still is an insanely difficult monster, but you gotta keep the button mashing up. You gotta keep the button mashing tempo up. You can't misstep the button mash, right? So, and you want to avoid getting hit by the toxic sludge, right? Once you avoid that, right, you can time everything down. By the time those heads come down, he's already at the halfway point, right? Obviously, they're gonna start moving, and you're gonna want to start evading them, right? And it's gonna be really difficult because there's a lot of things on the screen. But guys, I'm telling you right now, look, 1 health bar is down, but look where his health is, right? But if you just continuously focus on the air, right, and focus on like those areas, right, you can go into the center, but you'll get hit with the toxin, and you don't want that. You don't want that toxic sludge hitting you, right? But look, we got 1 full health, and bam, he is done, right? This guy gave me much more trouble than he should have, right? Because it's actually much more simple, right? You don't have to do anything precise. There are other people that do the level much more precise than I did, right? But if you just want to clear the stage, that's your way to clear the stage, right? So guys, now we're up to the Forgotten Temple, right? So we've got some Mayan temple ruins, right? Mayan, Aztec temple ruins, right? Some old, some Central American vibes going on in this level, right? Very, very freaking cool, right? Level design is really cool. Nice brown and greens, right? Really, really dope vibes in this level. And I'm just like trying to give you guys like a preview, right? I don't really want to spoil it for myself either, right? But it kind of seems like the developers got lazy here, right? Because we're seeing the same creatures. We're not seeing any new like characters, right? I don't know. Like we did see spiders. We see different colored enemies, right? But that's kind of like what you would expect, right, in like a cartridge era game anyway, right? But yeah, it really still just captures the nostalgia-esque vibes, right? But guys, we're coming to the end of this video because like, I don't want to spoil for myself. I don't want to spoil for you guys. If you guys missed the first 2 stages, right, I'm gonna link it right at the end. The boxes are gonna be there. And guys, likes, comments, subscription, notification bell, they all help keep the channel going. This has been Sid with another Spooky Season Special Spooky Wellness video. Guys, thank you so much. Leave some love if you can. Thank you so much. Cheers.